legend to little weird white kids.
That's pretty shitty, man. You're like his fucking idol.
Rap legend to little weird white kids.
That's pretty shitty, man. You're like
Alright, I guess I'll bring it up again. I grew up in a hella small town. You look around now and the population's all brown and black, but it wasn't like that growing up. Oh no, there was more Nazi lowriders in my school than Bloods or Cholos. Lancaster. Growing up in the 90s, what did I see? Edwards Air Force Base, Joshua Trees, tumbleweeds, and a whole lot of tweakers in the Food for Less parking lot. Reasons to like it here? There's not a lot. At least Palmdale got them all, and things to do and see. Nicer communities. The difference between you and me was only 10th Street West. So when I came home from school, I decided I wasn't content like the rest of these fools. Just like ostriches bury their head in the sand, I buried my head in music made without a band. It started off with generic rap tapes from Gemco, Rap City and Yo, before Growing Pains and The Cosby Show. The rest of the story's pretty run-of-the-mill. Made some demos right after high school, developed my skills. But as the years passed, a decision needed to be made. Life was passing me and my friends by like we were at a parade. There we go. But most of my homies didn't seem to care. Clarity was the only one that didn't want to grow old here. Plus, fucking the same used up freaks and getting drunk in the same 3 bars every weekend didn't seem like life to me. You can't win the lottery if you don't buy the ticket, so I decided from then on when I see a mic, I rip it. No matter what kind of hate the radio station sent. Half my friends didn't even know what the word aspiration meant. What's that mean? I never copied nobody, I never tried to bite. I would write but wouldn't sound like none of the rappers I liked. Plus I was funny but I made fun of myself. That's how I stood out. Fools didn't know what I was talking about. I was so different, rappers didn't want to stand next to me. Plus I looked like a cross between Serge and Heavy D. I didn't mean to, that's just how I looked. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I think I already read this book.
Worshipping the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being you?
If I ever blow up, I'll take it with a grain of salt and give the old hard work pays off speech to one and all. But if I ever look at a crowd and see a bunch of clean clones, I'll probably have a heart attack before I start to rap about it. Picture that. Out of nowhere, guys start gaining weight, shaving their head and wearing baggy shorts every day. That would defeat the purpose of whether or not you see me and say, does he deserve this? He's never been shot. You shouldn't have a record deal if you ain't got a criminal record. But half the rappers that got one lied about what they did to get it. True. In just a few months you went from nameless to rhyming for dollars. Now you're signing Impalas with Randy, Simon, and Paula. Congratulations, David Copperfield. You managed to pull the wool over this nation's eyes without even stopping to chill. But what's done in darkness eventually comes into light. And in 15 minutes I'll be there to tuck your image in. Good night.
Worshipping the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being
I'm
you?
your idol, the highest title, numero
Worshipping
uno.
the ground that I walk on school, but why you being me who's being you?
I'm your idol, 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 idol.
Hi there, I'm Brian Griffin, and you're listening to The Lunch Hour, serving up food for the mind. Today's entree is politics. What's on your mind today? The governor's budget, stem cell research, Give us a hot spoonful of your opinion. Okay, we have a question from Quahog. Caller, you're on the lunch hour. Can I take your order?
Yes, I'll have a big helping of the pretentious crap.
Whoa, sometimes the crazy ones get through. Okay, we have Rose from Cranston on the phone. Welcome, Rose. Can I take your order?
Yes, that turkey, that raw turkey that you ate off the counter last week that got Lois mad, when you pooped that out, was the timer still in there?
And we're out of time. This has been the Lunch Hour. Join us next week when our guest will be Gore Vidal. And remember, life is full of entrees, so don't fill up on bread.